This reflects image. If this is your first time visiting, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And also turn on the notification icon. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. So in today's video, I'll be walking you through the workflow on how I use in editing most of my studio pictures. So with no further ado, let's jump into action. This picture was taken in Canon EOS R, 50mm prime lens, ISO at 200, shutter speed at 1 f4.5, my shutter speed at 1/160. So the first thing I need to do is I shot the picture on RAW, so I just need to do what? Do some basic adjustments in my camera raw. To do that right now, all I just need to do is to bring down my whites. So I'm just doing this. You can actually do whatever you need to do to balance your light. So I want my dark skin to remain dark skin, and I want to darken the background a little bit. So that's why I bring down the highlight and increase the shadow. I'll go to the skin tone. I'm going to bring up the skin tone that I'm doing now. If you want to know how I did all these camera raw settings, there are other videos on my channel that is going to help you do that. So in this video, I want to focus on the major aspects inside of the Photoshop. So let's say I'm done with the basic settings now, the light settings and some color grading here. Next thing I just need to do is to do what? Open my picture in Photoshop. Then I'll wait for it to load up. So the Photoshop I'm using right now is Photoshop 2025 beta, which is 2026 in advance. So, but trust me, whatever I'm doing right now, you can do it with any version of Photoshop from 6015 and above. So don't feel discouraged if you have a lower version of Photoshop. You're going to do that. The reason why I'm just using this right now is just to actually make some things convenient for me. And you also have the money to get it. I would advise you to do so also, so that you get a lot of features there. So the next thing you need to do is retouching. But me right now, I'm not retouching my picture here because once I'm done with my manipulation, I'll head over to a Photo AI to do the retouching. The next thing I'll do right now is I want to slim fit our waist. As you can see right now, I just want to slim fit the waist right now. For me to do that right now, I would like to duplicate my background layer by clicking on Ctrl J. So that if I make any mistake, I can just easily go back and make amendment there. So what I will do right now, I'll just go to filter. Under filter, I'll go to liquidify. Under liquidify, I'll wait for it to load up. So once it load up, I'll just zoom in. I'm picking the first brush, this one over here, forward warp 2, and I'm going to reduce the size to the size I want it to be. I'm going to zoom in very well. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to tuck it this in right now, just to slim fit the waist a little bit to make it look very, very nice. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. If not, your picture is not going to look realistic again. So just take your time in doing it. So in case your what should I call it, your subject or your client has a big tummy, you can actually come here and do what? And do some basic adjustments here using the liquidify to reshape your subject slash your client. So so let's say we are done with this right now. We're done with this. Next thing we need to do is just to do what? Click on OK and go back to Photoshop. Then merge the both layer back together. Control Shift and E. If you're using a MacBook, Command Shift and E. So that being said, right now the next thing we're still going to duplicate our background layer again by clicking on Control J. The beauty about learning how to do this procedure I'm about to do now is if you are able to do this procedure, I think you are one step closer into getting how to manipulate picture, because this is the most important step when it comes to photo manipulation. So now let's start. The first thing we need to do is to crop out our picture into the size you want. The size I'll be using is 4x5 into bracket 8x10. I just have to go to my crop tool. So if you don't have the size like this, just come down here and do what? Select the 4x5 into bracket 8x10. So what is going to happen now is if I'm trying to expand from this side, also from this side, no matter how much I expand, the picture is still going to remain the size I want it to be, right? So it's still going to remain the size I want it to be. So let me say I'm done with the cropping right now. Next thing I just need to do is just to click my enter key. So don't worry about all this area right now. We're going to fill it up with the initial background color. So the next thing we do right now is to do what? Click on the quick selection tool, whatever tool you know how to use select subjects. So the next thing I'll click on right now is my select subject. Click on select subject and automatically I just have to sit down and wait for it, and it's going to select my subject for me. So I'll be showing you one trick if you're using 2023, 2024, 2025. So there's this option that will make a Photoshop select your picture for you almost perfect. It's going to give you a perfect selection. So when the selection is done selecting, I'm going to show you what that option is right now. And boom, do you see what it did for us? It selected our picture for us. So if I'm to zoom in now, can you see? Most of the selection is done for me perfectly, even down to the foot area. Can you see? It did the selection for me almost seamlessly. This is the only side I just have to make amendment to, just this side over here. Just have to pick my polygonal lasso tool, go to subtraction, and I'm going to remove this place from the selection, just to make sure my selection is all that perfect. This is not a detail I need to pay attention to. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. If you have to click on Ctrl K on your keyboard, if you're using a MacBook Command key, then go to image processing. So if you are using the device selection before, make sure you use cloud details. So that it's going to be giving you now, it's going to select for you like almost perfect. So I'll just do what I'll click on OK. That's the reason, that's how I was able to get this selection perfectly. Next thing I just need to do right now is just to click on my marks. So I've actually removed my subject from the background. So if I'm to turn off the background layer, as you can see, my subject is standing alone on a separate background. So I'm going to turn this back on right now. Then I'll do what? Go back to the background layer and Ctrl J on it again. You can see right now. Next thing I'll do, I'll hold down my Control key. If I'm using the MacBook Command key, then I'll do what? Click on the marks just to bring our selection back for us. Then I'll go to what? I'll go to select. Under select, I'll go to modify. Then I'll go to expand. So right now I'll be expanding by 8 pixel or 7 pixels, anyone you want to use, but 8, and I'll click on OK. So if I to zoom in, this is what the expansion did for us. It actually gives a little bit of room from the subject to what to the background. So if I want to fill that area up, it's going to actually do what? Know where to fill perfectly. So I'll do what? I'll pick my rectangle marker tool and make sure it's an addition because I want to add all these other areas to the selection. I'll start from the top, like this. Start from the right. I'll start from the left also. The reason I was able to do was to add everything like this is called an addition. If I'm to use a single selection, let's click on single selection. If I'm to select anything again, if I'm to do what? Do any selection, it's going to delete my previous selection. So Ctrl Z on it. I'm going to do what? Pick this one. I will do what? I'm going to select it right now. Next thing I just need to do is to right click on it. But I'm here to select this stand because this is actually part of blemishes I want to remove. So I'm going to add it to the selection. I'll right click on it. I'll go to fill. Under fill, I'll make sure I turn on my content aware. My color adaptation is on, and I'm going to click on OK. Then I'll wait for it to load up to fill all this area up for us. And boom, look at what it did for us. It filled all this area up with the initial background color. Ctrl D to select. So someone that I don't see where we're doing all this might think these are white our studio backdrop is. Meanwhile, we the one that do what? That added this background to it. So the next thing we just need to do is to smoothen the background. To do that right now, the layer you're just working on right now. So let's name the layer, let's name it modify. Let's name it modify layer so that it won't actually do what? Be confusing. And let's name our subject layer subject. So go back to the modify layer again and duplicate it once more by clicking on Ctrl J and do what? Change that to blur. Blur layer. Next you just need to do just to go to your filter. Under filter, go to blur. Under blur, go to Gaussian blur. So I'll be using around 200 as my radius. I'll click on my OK. So the next thing I will need to do right now, because I'm to zoom in right now, the footer shadow is no longer there, and that's what is going to make our picture look hyper realistic. I'll have to create a mask on it, on my blur layer. I'll pick my brush. If the color is on white, I'll make sure my brush color is on black. If it's not on black, make sure you turn it back to black. I'm going to do what? I'm going to scroll over where the footer shadow is before, and I'm going to bring it back. And boom, our picture is good to go. So with this right now, I can just do what? I can export my picture this way and I will take it to a photo to do the retouching. And I'm going to have a nice outcome. But if I don't want to do that, probably I want to add a Canva backdrop to it. What I just need to do right now is to do what? Just have to go to my file manager and I'll pick the background I want to make use of. So my background is located somewhere around there and I'm going to pick it up. If you watched the video to this point in time, that means you're loving my tutorial. So the only thing you can do to support me right now is just to click on the subscribe button and also drop a like. And if you also have a question, you can also drop a comment. You subscribing, you liking my video is going to make YouTube recommend my videos to others, and that's going to encourage me to create more videos like this for you guys to learn from. And note, I will also be dropping so many files that you guys can download for free. Files you need to be getting for premium. Each like counts, each subscription counts. So this is the Canva backdrop I'll be using right now. I just have to expand it to the way I want it to be. I think I want it around this way. I'll click on my enter key. Then I'll change the blend mode from normal. I'll bring it down to soft light. Can you see right now? Boom. Picture is looking very, very nice, but I want everything to be on gray backdrop. So I just need to do what? Control U on it. Then under the saturation, I'm going to drag it down to 0. Click on OK. So you can see right now. Then I'm going to give it a little bit of blur. Just have to go to filter. Under filter, I'll go to blur. Under blur, I'll go to Gaussian blur. And I'm going to give it a little bit of blur. I'll reduce the radius to around 12 or so. I think so 12 is okay. And I'm click on OK. Our picture is looking very, very pink already. So if you want to add a smooth effect to it, you can actually do that. And if you want to export that way, you can export that way. So let's say we're done right now. Let's just export our picture and take it to Evoto AI for retouching. Then we'll call it a day. So I just have to go to File, under File, go to Export. I'll save for Web because that's the way I usually save my picture. I do save for web. So once the panel load up for me, all my settings already done there. So you can just watch my settings and do it for yourself and export your picture. What I just need to do is to click on save, and I'm going to be saving as my desktop, and I'll click on save. Just have to wait for it to load up. So just have to open my Evoto AI with my picture, which is straight on my desktop, and I'm going to do what I'm going to drag it straight into Photoshop for retouching. So we just have to drop it there. So here's the picture over here. Very simple and straightforward. Just focus on the face, focus on the details of the face. First thing, remove frame core and ask if there's any there. I don't think I have anything to do here. Just have to jump straight to screen retouching. Under that, I'll just do what? Go to my frequency separation, 100%. That's the facial skin though. I'm going to increase it to 100%. And my sculpt dodge and bone, I'm going to increase it also. So you can see, just to give a shape to the face. Look at before and after of the face just right now, just a single click. Next thing I just need to do right now is to come what? Is to come to the skin texture, and I'm going to pick satin so that to make my skin go a little bit. Then frequency separation on the body also 100%. As you can see, it's right body there. So if you want to apply dodge and bond there also, you can also apply it there. So very simple. What if I tell you I'm done with my retouching right now? Here's the before of my picture, here is the after of my picture. I can just do what? This is the main reason why I do come to Evoto, just to apply skin tone for my subject. So I just click on this skin tone. Can you see right now? It changed the skin tone of my subject. Here's the before of my subject and here's the after. Then I'm going to do what? It's a little bit too dark for my liking. I just have to come down to skin radiance. I'm going to increase it up till I see fit. Very simple as that. Then I'm going to do what? Export my picture. Then my picture is good to go. So you can also get this app installed on your PC. You can get 15 trials by using the link down in my bio to sign up with them. So if you want to also make purchase too, use the code ReflexImage to get discounts on whatever products you buy for them. I hope this video helped. As you can see, this is actually a seamless process on how I do my editing. So it actually saved me a lot of time, a lot of energy when it comes to picture editing. So I hope this video helps. If it does, don't forget to drop a like. Someone out there might be in need of this video. See you guys in my next video tutorial. Reflex out.
So in case you're interested in getting any of my picture editing file, from my overlays down to my color lookup, which is my LUT file, so you just have to scroll down to your video. So under the comment, this is my description. So it's not going to load the description for you. You just have to click on show more, click on it. So it's going to show all the options. Once it does that, just click on my store link. So here's my store link. Once you click on it, it's going to take you directly to my store. So you can actually select any file you want. From the color lookup, this is a light skin LUT. This is a feather which I use in my recent video. This is 100 premium baby overlays. This is my first video course. This video course entails on how to download all the files I want. The site I use in downloading all my files free of charge, including my Photoshop panels also. This includes my PNG files. This includes all my packs, all my picture editing files, my premium overlay, my PNG, my flying fabrics, my color lookup, my presets. So once you buy this, you've already bought everything apart from this one. So here is my flying fabrics. Here is my, in case you want to give me any project for me to work on. Here's my color lookup. Here is my background overlay, and here is my presets file. So in case you're interested in buying any one, you can actually go for them. The good news there is that you can actually buy your own currency, any currency of your choice. You can buy with any currency of your choice.